So there is now chance for XRP to change forever. Look at this.
XRP holders, guys, in this important video I have some crucial data to share with you in regard to XRP. And if you're invested in this coin for any reason, you definitely want to watch this video until...
Yeah, XRP's growth, while Ethereum has grown right now, it's Ethereum season. That is why Ethereum is outperforming XRP. I know a lot of people are very mad, but this is literally the only reason why they are calling it. So yeah, just realize that this is not such a problem. Ethereum was 1,300. So yeah, it is looking still good. XRP 1,350. Nobody has beat XRP's odds at this rate level. So yeah, let that sink in.
Till the end, because it's going to give you an edge above other investors, other traders. I have some very interesting statistics to share with you, and I promise you no one is talking about the stuff that I will share with you today. So let's get into it. It's an important one. Don't forget to like the video, of course. Can we get this one back above 1,000 likes? I appreciate you watching. Let's get into it.
Okay guys, so starting off with this important chart. On the left we have the Google search volume for XRP, and on the right...
So yeah, this is the momentum of 2024, but you got to remember 2017 was the actual peak of XRP. But in terms of like how much we could hit, like how many people we can reach is now much bigger, because also the population of crypto has become much bigger at that point. So it seems like we are returning to all-time highs, although we're not there yet. And you guys got to remember, 8 months ago for XRP was a very big milestone with the lawsuit. Everybody was talking about it. Then it slightly died down because there wasn't much to talk about. But you can see, as I have correlated, there's price trends, like based on hype, how much hype there is, how much XRP will go up in price. So look at August, and it does seem like it's going towards an uptrend, and the price will go slightly higher. So yeah, just on a 1 month basis, we already saw great returns.
The XRP price chart. Now, back in July 2024, search interest for XRP really exploded, as you can see over here, and that lined up perfectly with a major breakout in the price. This is typical when hype and retail attention surge, price often reacts very sharply. Now, fast forward to August 2025, prices have pushed to new highs, as we all know, but fewer people are currently searching for XRP compared to those earlier spikes. So search volume is making lower highs while price is actually making higher highs. And this is what we call a bearish divergence between attention and price. And this suggests that the rally is not being fueled by, let's say, a wave of new retail buyers like before. Instead, this rally seems to be driven by institutions, whales, long-term holders, but not really retail FOMO, as you can see. And when you see this setup, guys, it's not an immediate crash signal or anything, but historically such divergences often appear near local or cycle tops, and the risk is this: if large holders start selling and retail demand...
Yeah, I feel like also like just sitting above $3 is good right now. The thing I'm worried about is when the whales start selling. Obviously, we still have the institutions coming in, which is gonna be, thank you for all the hearts, by the way, and likes. I really appreciate that, guys. Love you all. Welcome to the channel and the chat. But yeah, this is one thing I have been seriously worried about right now is XRP just trying to go to all-time highs. Again, it's trying to go to $4. We still have institutions coming in, which is another big key advantage that XRP has. But here is the real thing. At $4, in my personal opinion, I feel like the whales will start selling off. I feel like they're going to sell off some position and we might go back to $3. And I feel like there is going to be some sort of a dip between August and October. Again, I don't have a, crystal ball to exactly predict the prices, but this is a very important factor that you guys need to realize. A lot of these whales bought at $2 and they're going to sell it. It's how you play the game. So yeah, just when you have your own XRP, just realize this is going to happen. And if you accept that, that's perfect then, because there's going to be another rally, or at least you hope for another rally when it happens.
Demand is low. There's basically less new money to absorb the sell pressure. So the bottom line, prices are still climbing for now, but without the same level of public hype we saw at previous peaks. And that is something you want to keep an eye on very closely, guys. So Pay attention to these signals. I mean, I also made a comparison between the Bitcoin price and XRP's price on the weekly time frame. You can see this trend line. Bitcoin made higher highs basically since 2024. Clearly higher highs. The RSI, the relative strength index, formed lower highs. So
yeah, so the more whales, like I feel like at some point, like $4, the whales will decide not to buy. Because right now, what happened is literally at $4, the RSI comes stronger, which means there's more risk and it could go into overbought territory. So the reason whales bought at $1 is because they know it's going to reach $3, right? But now the risk is becoming bigger. They're still buying at $3, but are they going to buy at $4? Now, this is a question nobody knows because anything could happen. And, you know, I'm very hopeful for the election year. And also, welcome if you're new to the channel. And thank you for smashing that like button. I provide XRP news daily. So here is the most important factor is that the RSI getting stronger or bigger or, you know, going up basically means more risk for them for less return. It's how it works. And at some point, they might decide to sell off their XRP and others will follow.
This exact trend line, we have seen some sell pressure and eventually this could lead to a much larger correction, both for Bitcoin and also, of course, for XRP. So just be mindful of that. I do believe that there could be massive resistance between $4 and $5 for XRP, and for Bitcoin most likely.
I feel like it's going to be a bit before $5 because we're still trying to push $4, right? So like something like 4.1, 4.2, there's going to be a big sell-off. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but it's pretty clear to me what's happening right now. Because these whales will even get like a 30% profit. They will be very happy.
Between $125,000 up to $130K. So pay attention to these levels, but this is definitely something that could be bearish, what we're seeing right now in terms of the surge interest for XRP and for Bitcoin and for a lot of other cryptocurrencies as well. Now, this is also a very interesting chart to look at. XRP's percentage of total supply in profit is currently sitting above 95%. Now, historically, when this metric reaches such extreme levels, it often lines up with local tops as profit-taking pressure starts to mount. But right now, guys, the price is around, let me see, $3.26.
So 95% of people are in profit, and this is when usually people start selling and the prices stop moving. That's very true. You got to realize a lot of people were in profit also at, 10 cents when it was at its peak. So I don't feel like this is a good indicator. It was at its peak at 15 cents. And people, if they followed this metric, percent of total supply and profit for XRP, they would have sold everything at 10 cents. XRP would never reach $1, right? So I don't trust this indicator fully because I also feel like the government coming in is the real game changer in this parts right now.
So almost anyone in XRP is currently sitting in profit. That's a lot of unrealized gains, and it means that basically any shift in sentiment could trigger heavy selling. There's also a flip side.
There's no reason for people to sell right now. The market is great. They're getting money, so why should they sell? That's literally the thing we're seeing right now.
To this, I mean, XRP has shown in the past it can sustain these high profit ratios for longer than most assets before a major correction. So if buyers keep stepping in, we could see momentum carry higher before any real pullback. But yeah, definitely be aware of this. Almost everyone is right now in profits. We have also seen that here in January when a lot of people were in profits when the price was high, and eventually we did saw a major correction due to this. So pay very close attention to this metric as well. Now, this is another important chart to watch. Here you can see the whale to exchange transactions over on Binance, and we have seen the second largest XRP whale inflow in history, as you can.
So yeah, this is also for me a positive sign if a whale buys. Why do the whales buy? They do way more research than any of us, right? And I do this full time. And I feel like the whales, when they are buying big, right, they're going to do their research when they invest, large and large amounts of money. Unfathomable amounts of money. So they will do a lot of research and say, okay, price doesn't stop here. Price does not stop at, $3. I feel like it's a safe buy at $3.2. So yeah, a lot of XRP whales have started buying. This is the truth you guys need to know. We got 20 viewers right now. Maybe we got 1,000 viewers, but you guys just need to know what exactly is happening with XRP right now. It's the truth.
You can see over here, this chart goes back to 2022, but I can tell you this is the second largest inflow in history. The largest one so far has been in December last year, and eventually we all know that that was very close to the local top for XRP before a multi-month correction. So this is definitely also something to take very serious. On the other hand, there are also some positive things here to mention, because if we look at the altcoin season index, then we do know that we are currently sitting at 53, so there's still a lot of room left here for more upside in the prices of altcoins. Typically when this meter goes above 75, you want to lock in some profits into stable coins, because historically we always see a massive pullback whenever we go above 75 on this meter in the altcoin market, at least a multi-week to maybe even a multi-month correction for altcoins. So pay attention.
But yeah, the thing is here, this one is still in neither Bitcoin season, neither altcoin season. So what it's telling us is literally there is room to grow. What we're seeing is the same, type of hype wave. There's still way more room to grow for crypto. So that is good news. Everything here is pointing towards good news, except there's going to be probably, which we all knew is going to be a sell-off at about $4. At least, this is not financial advice, but according to statistics, what we have right now, it is very clear on what the whales are deciding to do. This is my prediction.
So if we want to talk about this, Treasury Secretary Bessent says the Federal Reserve should consider a 50 basis point rate cut. This is of course a major signal. Typically, whenever we see rate cuts, risk on assets tend to perform very well. But you should understand that the next FOMC meeting is in September. So I believe that markets are going to price in rate cuts. So we could see a rally into September, but I'm not too sure whether we're going to see a continued rally in September. So just be aware that September is historically not the best month for crypto, but I definitely believe that this potential rate cut news.
So they're saying that basically crypto is not best in September. Crypto has never been in a positive government. I feel like he forgot to mention that. Like how good right now the US government is to crypto and XRP. So I don't feel like this bull run can be compared to anything we've ever seen before in terms of anything.
Is going to get priced into the market until September. Here we have the September rate cut odds surge to 90% following US CPI release. There's a very high probability that we will see rate cuts very soon, guys. If we look at H-bar here on the weekly time frame, we can see that H-bar broke above the Gaussian channel, which is very bullish, and it looks like the same thing that we saw in 2021 is playing out once again for H-bar. So why is that? Well, we first had an initial pump here, then we had a correction period, we broke slightly back into the Gaussian channel, eventually H-bar broke outside of the Gaussian channel.
So yeah, XRP, I don't really feel like it can even follow the same patterns. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below as well. Because I definitely think like the bullish news we have seen this week, even if this is, an indicator that's a bit oversold, again, it shows at 95. So 95% of people holding XRP are in profit right now. It is not that big of a problem because right now, and what we saw before is even Bitcoin was many times like that and still went for another new high, went over 120K. It just hit one all-time high today, yesterday, whatever you want to call it. That's why I'm not too worried about XRP, being too valued too much.